Intel's an interesting company to me because you're an incredibly well-recognized brand. I mean, almost anyone buying a computer familiar with computers has heard of you. But at the same time, it's not something that you would go directly. I go to the Apple store, but I don't go to the Intel store. Yeah. So what are the challenges for you creating a very strong consumer brand at the same time as having a relatively low direct interface with them?
Well, it's an ingredient. So basically, you have to believe that the microprocessor is important.
Okay.
Which most people do if it's explained to them. And most people, when they go in and they think computers, they think about it. But we have to get that message over. And that's why, and that message is now going to come over through the internet. So somehow in your use of the net, at the period of time when you're thinking about computer, we need, for our commercial survival, we need to use formally that an Intel CPU is a good thing to have in a PC. And the way we've done it traditionally is just using print advertising. And now we need to do it through online. And so obviously that means our messages have to be, discreet, sincere, true. They have to resonate with people. People have to say, yeah, that's true. And then certain people have to amplify those messages themselves. It's not what you say, it's what they say. So we're going to be dependent upon a lot of people who are kind of neutral, roughly endorsing our messages and saying that we're not exaggerating or lying. So one of the things we've done is we have an online, we have a website called pc.com that we're experimenting with, which will be we won't control it, but it'll be a place where people can come along and talk about computers. And on average, they will say nice things about us.
Speaking of being true here, what are your core values?
We are we're a technology innovator. But people come along because most people are here because they're ready for technology and they think it can do good things. So we just won the top of Corporate Social Responsibility Award, and principally because of what we do for children's education worldwide. So most people in the company think that the world would be great if everybody was connected, and the faster the cheaper we make them, the more widespread they are, the better the world is. And that's probably 80% true. There's 20% that's worrying.
But what about controlling the message? Which, I mean, one of the challenges with social, you can't really control the message because once the audience gets their mitts on it, they may or may not agree with you. How comfortable are you with? I mean, I'm assuming pretty comfortable if you're putting 80% of your focus on going into that space.
So we really think our stuff is better. Because we really think our stuff is better, we think if people get a chance to look at it, they'll agree. And there's a way of sweeping around the world which started in Europe and it's up through the US, which is people really don't trust commercial messaging anyway. Because everyone's had enough of all that. It's so self-serving. So we believe that we make better stuff than our and we believe that people, on average, if they look at it, they'll believe that. So that's a really foundation position, what we think. If we didn't make better stuff, then we'd get really worried. So we actually live by the course of public opinion.
It's bold. I don't think there are many big companies that are able. They might say it, but they certainly don't necessarily back it up. So,
yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Apple computer changed Apple computer to Apple. And I think most people out there, when they think of themselves, almost 100 computers. And it looks like there's that. But I'm wondering about what happened as the world is growing increasingly into the consumer
Yes.
My refrigerator, I don't know. So the Intel evolving beyond this sort of identity, associated so closely with the tech. Computer sector broader.
No. You can only be one thing in the world. And people don't have enough time to think of you as two things. You can only be one thing. And we invented microprocessor, so that was one of the things we did. And microprocessor is an amazing gadget, and that's what we invented. And that's us, really. And you get online through the microprocessor, you take pictures to them and so on, but really, people think of us as a microprocessor company in the world, whether in technology, whether it's China or anywhere. So evolving who you are into something else is very difficult. It's very difficult for humans to do that. It's very difficult for companies. People tend not to believe in you. You have to ring true, really. You have to be what you are.
Can I play devil's advocate for one thing?
Sure.
I would take an example like Google. I know they're set up pretty weird right now, but you talk about everything else. But they've kind of taken search, and now they do. I think they're next on the movie.
What else? Give me a 3-sentence word for the company.
3-word sentence. 3-word sentence.
3-word sentence.
Yeah.
It's actually scary that if we understood that.
I guarantee you, most people in the world would say they're a search company. Now, actually, traffic on the net, YouTube's now bigger than search, right? I would be gobsmacked if people said that Google was a video delivery company. But they're actually delivering more data on video than they are on search. Although they make 110% of the money on search, but it's a very difficult position. What's HP? Yeah, well, they'd say, come on, we're more than that. Come on. But, it's difficult to be more than one thing.
We probably got to wrap up.